In terms of the business model of Hawaiian Electric Company, a publicly traded company who has a responsibility to their shareholders, and then the model that Kuokoa is trying to implement in terms of taking the company private, and then in 10 years, as I understand it, taking it public again. Does that matter in terms of implementing your plan, and how does that play out? I mean, what are the barriers for Hawaiian Electric in terms of their business model?
Well, I think one step at a time. I think what Kuokoa would like to do would be to take Hawaiian Electric private to get the kind of flexibility that one can have in a private company to make fundamental and very substantial reforms. Mm-hmm. This will not work. This moving Hawaii into a position of leadership and saving Hawaii from its terrible oil dependence will not work without decisive action. One can't halfway do it. Either one has got to move in the direction of, I think, geothermal, and not necessarily all of it from the Big Island. The other islands that have some, and some of the characteristics of the geothermal are not fully understood yet. Mm-hmm. But geothermal is a potentially very fine source for base load because it's stable. Mm-hmm. And lasts a long time. Mm-hmm. There are other technologies that could do that, nuclear, but Fukushima and the proliferation problems and so forth have cast a pretty cold splash of water on nuclear. And the other technologies that are used for base load are hydro, which would be great, but Hawaii has a lot of wonderful scenery, but not nearly enough large waterfalls to provide hydro. And the other is coal, which is dirtier than oil as far as pollution and CO2 is concerned. It doesn't have the strategic problems oil does, but it's not something I think one would want to transition to. So if you're going to take decisive measures and deal with Hawaii's energy problems and dilemmas, I think you need the flexibility that a private company could exercise. But as I understand it, Kuokoa has no reason to want to regard this as a hostile position vis-a-vis Hawaiian Electric. They want to work with them and find a way to get this all accomplished.